I'm running a mother of 4 whose children, 2 are still in the TDSB and 2 have gone on into post-secondary. And I've always fought for their environment and for others. My history as a youth outreach worker for the City of Toronto, an advocate for students within the TDSB, being awarded Canada 150 Medal for my work for service in Scarborough areas, also being invited to be part of the hiring committee for the Toronto District School Board principals and vice principals. My activism and my advocacy has been over 30 years. The opportunity to put my name on the ballot as a result of the current trustee moving on into the provincial realm as the MPP has left now a space to fill an opportunity to get a trustee in there for the next 4 years who is going to continue to advocate for your children as passionately and as effectively as I have for mine. Every fight that I have fought for my children has always been successful. And that is why many in the Toronto District School Board spaces and places know of my name and know of my results in making change for my children's environment and for the children that are in the schools of my children. Everyone know, from superintendents to trustee, even to the director of the TDSB, they know of me. And they know that when I step into a fight, it's never a fight that I lose. Why? Because every fight, someone has had a chance and a choice to do a course correction, and they've chosen to stay in a place, in a space of arrogance, to be wrong in how they are approaching the education and the environment of our children. So I fight from a place of knowing what is right. I also fight from a place knowing what my rights are as a parent and know exactly where the line draws with educators. I am here to empower and educate more guardians and parents in what I know and how I have been successful. The success of my 2 children going to post-secondary school is not based only on public school. I had to get involved and I had to ensure. And I've tried all different schools, including the Afrocentric school when it first opened. I got a direct invitation from the superintendent at that time and the trustee at that time, because I homeschooled my children. I took them out. I said, public school is not working for my children. So I was asked to please come back and give us a shot. We have the Afrocentric school that's opened. I'm like, okay. And I stepped foot in it and I stepped foot out. Again, many are blaming color and race for their children's academic failures. And when they were placed in an environment where they can't blame that anymore, they can't shame that anymore, where they have to take 100% accountability, you saw exactly what happened. And I said, wow. Accountability is foreign from many communities, including mine. So it's easy to point a finger and pull the racist card. When you're in an environment where you can't pull that card and you have to look yourself in the mirror, we have implosion. And it was messy. So I said, thank you, but no thank you. And I pulled my children out. Because for once, the community saw that their problem was them. And they need to face that. And it's easier to blame the past and blame racism for everything and not want to take 100% accountability for the current status of your environment and the children's environment. We have enough gatekeepers that are rinsing and repeat the blame and shame, and they are rewarded with grants. They get grant money and they get nice funding for keeping you in an oppressed state, knowing that if they truly empower you and tell you the truth, they would no longer be needed. because you would be empowered. There'll be no need for grants, and they won't be paid and all that. Why am I running? Because I'm unapologetic at calling out the BS. Our education system isn't racist. We have an education system of adults who want to blame and shame. And we also have an education system of teachers who live in that mindset of believing the lie. That is why children of African descent will walk into a classroom and teachers will believe that they are performing low. Why? Because you of African community keep walking around as if it's the truth. You don't need the permission of any political party or any special interest group to finally permit you and your child to perform excellence. And when you have a teacher who refuses to see the excellence in your child, then that's what you approach, the teacher. And that is where I come in as a trustee. When teachers choose to not want to see and grade and evaluate children properly, you go to the principal, you go to the superintendent, and you go to the trustee. I've had success in every battle because I know how to advocate. And even when something is said to be settled on a principal level, it's not settled. I just recently fought a battle with my child where a teacher decided to grade my child and I, meaning incomplete and not able to be graded. And I'm like, are you crazy right now? What are you talking about? I'm with my child, especially in virtual. I'm there because I'm also doing virtual from home. What do you mean that you couldn't assess my child? And that teacher decided to cyberbully me, decided to bring teachers into her email. And you should see the berating of word language she used, all because I was advocating to question, why are you not able to assess my child? What do you mean an I? And the principal believed that the satisfactory response is say, we're looking into it and I'm going to speak to teachers. Like, no, that's not satisfactory. Now, many of you parents will think that that's all you can do. I know that's not all I could do. Long story short, my child was reassessed by another teacher at the same grade level, and he came out with a B, B minus, B plus, and another amazing grade. Another teacher looked at the same quality of work, tested my son orally, and my son was graded, whereas another teacher put I. That also escalated to superintendent, and it also escalated to her union for her to get advice as to what she should do, which is in her best interest to do. And I laid out what is satisfactory to me. I'm not allowing people to tell me what is satisfactory. No, I'm telling them for this to be handled satisfactory, these are my demands. Boom, boom, and boom. And she can choose one or she can choose none. I am giving her the opportunity to choose her outcome. Pick one of the options that you're comfortable with. And in the best interest of all, she chose an option. And it was satisfactory to me. And in my statement, I stated, this fight is not just for my child. The fact that you had the gall and the gumption, and you feel that you had some kind of backing from a principal, this showed me that you've done this before. And if this is the first time doing it, you were really brave. And on top of that, you decided to cyberbully me, which is against TDSB's own policy for students. You include teachers that had nothing to do with our conversation. You CC teachers in your communication to me. Oh, sister, wrong thing you pulled. I dealt with her good and proper. And I made sure all of the teachers she CC'd also were notified. I don't joke. And I told them, this is for the people and the families you've obviously done this to before. and you obviously have gotten away with it. And if this is your first time, it's for the next where you don't even think twice of doing this again. And I'm just doing that as a parent. Could you imagine me as a trustee? Oh, trust me, we'll be cleaning out house. So the system isn't racist. The system isn't oppressive. The system isn't X, Y, and Z. It's the individual teachers who show up toxic. And then you have unions who want to protect them. When it comes to my child's mental health and wellness and emotional mental health and wellness and the academics, listen, unions have not been able to be successful with me. Because you need to know the language, and especially when you have the evidence, because teachers are just very brazen right now. Oh, they give you so much to work with. Like, you don't even have to go out of your way to find stuff. They give you so much to work with. But you need to know how to work with what they give you. A teacher that is toxic is very easy to handle. We don't need to revamp an entire curriculum, take out special programming entrance. Like, we don't need to do all that for, I'm sorry, addressing what? No. No. It takes brave, courageous, steadfast, unapologetic trustees and a director to face head-on union members who are in the capacity of being educators that stand in front of our children day in and day out to get rid of those that are showing up toxic, and reward the ones who show up every day wanting to bring out the best in all children. It takes courage to do that. And once you step in it that way, you will have the support of the parents and the guardians. You will have the support of the parents and the unions, and your union dues just going to have to pay for all of the waste of their resources to want to defend somebody that's going to go. So we need to bring the Toronto District School Board curriculum back to the standard of international competitiveness, and have an environment where every teacher steps into a building knowing that they bring their best to the table every day, and they know they have support to enable them to be their best and give our children their best. And for those rotten apples in every bunch, they're going to know that there's a different time in this 4 years. The tide is turning and the tide has shifted. There is a course correction. And we guardians and we parents aren't playing anymore. So, why am I running? Because I have a passion for our children to be successful no matter where they go. Have a wonderful rest of your day.